Yeah, the travel.
No, no travel, not really. I'm a son.
Good morning. Welcome, everyone. I'm pleased to call this meeting to order. The Board of Directors of the Columbia Economic Development Corporation. We're shy of a quorum, but expecting more colleagues to come through the door shortly, and hopefully we'll reach that all important quorum as the meeting progresses. I want to extend a special welcome to an old friend and a good guy. David Finger, our former chairman, is here, spying on us for the day. And we're glad to see you and hope all's well.
Thank you.
Great. Okay.
I don't care if the form,
Hey,
The bus has arrived, shoot out.
Yeah.
welcome, Mike. And we're going to begin with Finance Committee. Mike, if you go over the treasurer report for us, please.
Good morning. It's the end of a quarter, so we burdened you with the full balance sheet and full P&L. As you can see on page 4, about 3/4 of the way down the page, total bank accounts. We have $2,045,000 that consists of the funds available in the CEDC loan fund, the lend of $767,000, and funds remaining in the SBA draw of $354,000. So we have just under $1.1 million in funds available to lend. I think we have 2.6 on the street. We are monitoring our cash. We do have a situation with the SBA where we have about a $70,000 receivable for the third quarter of the year. We're pretty much caught up with the county through September. And as you know, because we continue to put all of the interest we earn on the 2 loan funds into the loan funds themselves, which is how Martha has built the loan fund over the last 10 years, up to the $3.8 million aggregate value. We are watching, the Finance Committee is going to review in January, propose taking some of the not the SBA money, because we get paid by the SBA to run that program, but the CEDC money to take a management fee for the loan fund. I think if we look at we're down 140,000 in cash, 70 of that is the SBA. So basically we're down $70,000 in cash. When I started, we had 750,000 in cash. I was concerned that would make the Board of Supervisors say, why do we need to give you 460,000 next year if a bad year came along? And I also felt that it was important to build the loan fund. But whenever we break even at the end of a year or have $25,000 or $50,000 in net income, it's that's on paper where the $70,000 to $100,000 in interest has gone into the loan fund. So the Finance Committee and I are going to look at that at the end of this year. On our accounts receivable, as you can see, we are owed $5,000 by the land bank at the bottom. The Columbia County IDA owes us $34,000. We've been deferring that fee so that they aren't in a cash situation. They have under $50,000 in their account. We do have a couple of projects that we believe the county IDA will be working on, including a $20 million project in Philmont. That we have an IDA application on. That will be a $200,000 fee for the IDA, and we would pick up that $35,000 receivable. We're talking on the, page 5. You can see we have a million two on the street and $1,000,003, when you combine, the CEDC and SBA monies, that's the $2.5 million that we have on the street.
Bunch of technology.
And if you look down further, to total current assets, we're at 5.4 million, up 250,000 from this time last year, but again, that's because we drew down additional SBA funding. And our total assets right now are at 5.7 million. I think we continue to grow the balance sheet, but as you can see, 55 to 60% of the balance sheet is in the loan. Looking at our liabilities, Cat Leiden keeps us on target with accounts payable. We're down $6,000 from this time last year. We're on budget with our accrued expense, and our deferred revenue includes additional funding. These are funds that we deferred when we received them in past years. $25,000 in housing money and $42,000 in funds from Columbia Forward. We have the deferred Office of Community Renewal grants, which relate to the corresponding entry on the asset side for the grants that we manage for the state, for the creamery, Pine Kill Farms, Black Estates, and Return Brewery. If you go down further, you can see we owe the SBA $1,638,000 on the tranches of funding that we've drawn down over the last 4 or 5 years. We get to keep the interest on the SBA loans, but we do have to pay them back the principal. They're now charging us interest on our drawdowns at 2.875. During COVID, you'll recall that there was no interest on those loans. So we're in really good shape in terms of the balance sheet. I'm very pleased with how it's grown. I'm pleased how it's balanced with operating cash and the strength of the loan fund. And if you have any questions on the balance sheet, I'm happy to answer. If not, we can go to the P&L on page 7. We're under budget and in just about every category, with the exception of the believe where I didn't estimate properly for the amount of expense for the SBA loans, because I didn't realize they were going to start kicking back in the interest. But our administrative revenue is down 10,000. We anticipate the Crescent building to close their IDA financing, and we'll get $10,000 there, which will pick up the deficit that we would have as of September. So it's a timing issue. On the county, we are down $10,000 as it relates to land bank income, but we do have a receivable on the land bank that we have not yet collected, and I don't believe it was booked. Remember, our interest income is up $6,000. We're a little short on estimating our bank interest, but bank rates came down a bit. But we're up on the interest on the loan fund, so that's a positive. Our membership is down. That we do have a subcommittee that's been working with Jim and I on membership, which we perhaps will have a report during my president's report. That's membership and sponsorship, and the sponsorship is included for the annual meeting. So our total income is $20,000 off on almost $1 million. So we're 2% off on income. On our expenses, we are Our total expenses are, we're down 11%. We're at 903 versus 1,015,000. The bulk of that is in the employee expense line. And if we look at that, that's on the top of page 8. Total payroll expense, we're down $70,000, 10 months, which is the position that we didn't fill. So I think we're at $63,000 in net income. We projected being at -28 at this point in the year. So we're 91,000 to the good. And as I like to say, the first month of the year, 1 month doesn't make a budget. Well, 10 months does, so I think we'll come in pretty close to budget. The next two sheets, 10 and 11. You can see in column 2 operating, and then you can see all of the loan fund income. So if we look on the bottom of page 13, you can see we're running a negative $29,000 on a cash basis in the operating account. But when we add in all of the interest, we get to the plus 63,000. So when we add, by not taking any interest from the loan funds, we took $3,000 a month as an administrative fee, we wouldn't have that negative $29,000. Again, we were a little bit concerned about cash flow with the SBA, and we do have a reserve account, $220,000 available if we need to cover that. Obviously, once the government gets back up and running, it will probably take 30 days to get the past due money, but we're in pretty good shape cash flow. Are there any questions on the financials? I believe we approved the budget last month. No, is that in the packet? Sorry.
Right before we move on to that topic, I need a motion to approve the treasury report.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
If you jump to page 88 for the 2025 budget, which has been approved by the finance committee. On page 88, basically what we did is we took the 2024 actual, the 2025 projection, and came up with a budget. We will not have the Columbia Forward funding in 2026. That was a 3-year commitment. They gave us an extra year, so we had 4 years. When we look at that on line 22, you'll see that we received $150,000 in 2024 and 2025. So what we are going to be doing is, if you go back up to line 12, we are entered into a contract with the county to run the land bank that Chris Brown set up a year or so ago. These funds come from the state to administer land bank funding. It goes to the county land bank. We administer it under a contract like we do the 2 IDAs. And in addition, we're going to raise the IDA fees. We're doing both at the city and the county $40 million projects. And right now we're getting $12,000 a year to do the administrative work that Lisa performs on both IDAs, each pay 12. And we get 10,000, we get 10% of the IDA fee up to $10,000. Well, if they're gonna get a $400,000 IDA fee, the volume of work that takes is, $10,000 doesn't cover it. So we have discussed both IDAs that they haven't approved it yet. but going to $18,000 for the administrative work and 10% of the fee up to $25,000 for the project work. And, you know, the work that I did on the J.L. Edwards School project, in a 6-week period to get them what they needed, so they would have a approved pilot from the city IDA in time to file their application with the, Office of, or Division of Housing and Community Renewal in connection with a low-income housing tax credit that they need to do that project. Basically, I might as well have gone on vacation from CEDC because, the time that was involved in doing that work. So we are looking at, increasing those fees. And that would result in us, bringing in 178,000 instead of 97 under administrative revenue. And that would be an additional 81,000. And we lose 195 on the Columbia County relationship. I did request the Board of Supervisors increase our county income from the 460 that we have received for the last 12, 13 years, which we're very grateful for, and you can see what an important part of our budget it includes. But I did ask for a $40,000 increase, so that we would, be able to get back to the $90,000 to $100,000 that they've been giving us for the housing, affordable housing work that we're doing. The chairman did call me yesterday to ask how important that was, and I assured him that it was very important to enable us to continue some of the work we are doing on the affordable housing front. And I know the chairman and the Board of Supervisors are very pleased with the work that Chris Brown has been doing. And he said it looked good, but you never know what happens when the sausage has got to be made. So we're optimistic. I think we're pleased that the supervisors, in particular the chairman, is happy with the work that we're performing across the board. And I feel confident that if the money is available, that we'll have their support. And if we don't get it, it's because there were other pressures and obligations that the county was facing. But certainly we'll figure out. I did not budget for it, but don't tell the chairman that.
I didn't hear it.
We have such a great partnership that we're not gonna have a breakup for $40,000. On the bank interest, we did, I brought it down to 15,000. Not only because our balances are a little lower, but rates are flattened out a bit. We do have an increase. We'll have $126,000 in projected income from the loan fund interest this year. I only bumped that up to 130. I think that's low, but it does relate to the volume of getting the money on the street. And again, I didn't want to overstate income. Our membership and sponsorship is a big lift, a $35,000 increase. And again, we do have a subcommittee that's working on it. And we're optimistic that with a different approach and a more focused marketing and sales campaign, we'll go to the old United way. Who's going to go after the insurance brokers? Who's going to go after the lawyers? Who's going to do the car dealers? And be a little more aggressive. When I came, we didn't have a membership program, but and we suspended it during COVID. So we really need to refocus on that, and I appreciate all of your support in that area. Other income is budgeted the same as last year. The SBA, we received, I budgeted 280. This year we're getting 266. So it's only $11,000 more. Our contract runs on a July 1st to June 30th. So we're guaranteed the half of what we're getting this year. But again, we have been in this range. This is the highest we've been at 290, Martha?
293.
293, and, the previous year was 260. So, I kind of put us back to where we were, but it is based on volume, and we continue to be the largest, volume micro lender for the SBA in their upstate region. So, basically, I'm bringing the, cash down by, 70%, the income. 40 of that, hopefully will be offset by the, county, so that will only be down 30,000. I believe there'll be more IDA projects, and now that we're looking at, I'm budgeting 30,000, for projects. That means, at a $25 million project, we need to do one project a year. At a $40 million project, where we do one of those a year, we're over budget. On the expense side, very quickly, conference, and training, is, I budgeted it a little bit higher. I think it's important that, our team is out at different events and conferences, not only for the learning process, and the, content that, you get at a conference, but also it's always good to sit at lunch with someone who tells you how their job is so much worse than yours. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Consulting fees, we do, budgeted, but consulting fees, you'll see a drop of, 42,000 because, I'll only be collecting a consulting fee through June 30th. At that point, that budget number goes over to the payroll, to compensate your, anticipated new president and CEO. We, also with the county, on the expense side, we do have $60,000 both in the budget, income and expense side for broadband. That's a state grant. We're still working out with the state whether we're going to make that a cell service study grant or a broadband grant. And you can see, we also have less expense because of the 150,000 that we got from the county, for Columbia Forward. We paid out, money, to the Chamber of Commerce. On employee expense, on line 75 on page 89, total employee expense. We are at $700,000. And that ties out to a 12-column spreadsheet that, takes into account all of the payroll taxes, health insurance, retirement, et cetera. It does focus on the fact that 70% of our income is, for, staff. I do think, we have to watch that because you need to have programmatic expense, not only for, administrative support and overhead, but to be able to deliver on the programs that you're working on. So I am a little cautious about that. Our rent, our grant expense, our insurance is all budgeted based on, previous, years. Except that on line 81, we're not giving the $65,000 to the chamber. It does include giving $5,000 again to the Capital Resource Corporation, which is the not-for-profit, entity, similar to an IDA, but it's an IDA for not-for-profits that we continue to support. But again, this is a budget, does not reflect the individual expenditures that require board approval, and that will be brought to your attention in, January. Our land bank expense goes away because there now is a land bank. Our monthly business expense is the work that Martha and Steve do to support our businesses, including seminars and providing direct technical assistance. We do have $45,000 in expenses for the broadband study, but that comes out of the $60,000 grant. And we don't have a strategic plan to do this year. And if you flip over, we still are budgeting $15,000 for workforce, and education. We had previously sponsored a program at the college, but, I think they're revisiting, that program and anticipate they may be back with another, initiative for our consideration. You know, we try to keep tight on the office, expenses, probably the hardest area. But, I had under budgeted previously, but I think we're now at a point, we did change the phone system and saved considerable, cut it in half. And I think, you know, some of the work that Steve has done with us to get our administrative and operating expenses down, it's been very helpful. We're still paying off, the SBA, emergency, what is it? The EIDL, loan. You recall that we took out $100,000 loan during the heat heart of COVID. We've been paying it down over 5 years rather than 30 years. It was at 2.75%. It was kind of an insurance policy that we wouldn't have to lay people off, because we didn't know about, PPP2 at the time we took it out. So again, we're more than half of that has been paid off. We do have, budgeted, for accounting, legal fees and payroll. We are gonna ask your approval, at the recommendation of the finance committee today to authorize me to do a RFP for accounting services. You know, we're hopeful that, it will be, something that will enable the current, incumbent to convince their senior management that the fees have gone up too fast, too soon. And that they have to control their own overhead and that they'll be competitive, but they do have to, the fees have gone up almost $15,000 over 4 years. Marketing and, public relations is the same. And the SBA interest is $10,000 more than we're paying now. So I think it's a conservative budget. It leaves us with $10,000, net income, but, we do have the deferred income, on the books that if we, had a loss, we wouldn't have a negative year end.
Questions, comments on the proposed budget? Finance committee reviewed this budget in depth and recommends approval by the board. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, we're a small operation, but $1 million is still a big budget, and, you know, I do think that it, I want to thank the staff, because without, you know, we were all spending wildly, we wouldn't be able to keep it under control. At this point, Chairman, we do, since we're at page, we can go to page 15 and, ask if there are any questions on either the 990 or the, we've included with that a copy of the, 2024 audit. I think we approved that prior this year because we're providing you with the 990 and, generally now with the accountants just push a button and the software is set up that the, audit, auto fills the 990, but we included the audit just in case, you had any questions that you wanted to cross check. But we do need a resolution to approve the 990 for filing.
Questions or comments?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Also in your packet is on page 91 is the request for proposed audit services. I do have to I updated it on page 2 about our I do have to change that paragraph. The third paragraph on page 92. We use this from a Empire State Development RFP, and I just have to put information from our audit in here and delete the reference to the Federal Transit Administration. Although I think it was fortuitous now that Mark Molinaro runs that organization. I thought maybe he might have some extra dollars he could share with us. So with that, plan edit, we could have a motion to approve that. So,
Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is carried.
You like to, have me continue the president's report or, I don't see it here.
Here's sort of finance committee charter review we need to deal with first.
Yes, in your packet also. On page. 100? 100? No, it's,
Wait, 100.
there's the. Finance committee charter, there's been no substantive changes, but this needs a renewal so we can file it, with the state.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. Good. And also that's the portfolio on page 14.
Yeah, Martha, we can have Martha do the portfolio and I can come back.
Okay,
We did that?
yes, please.
Okay. The portfolio dashboard, we did go over this in detail with the loan committee, but we do have some updates, beginning with loan client A. Our understanding is that business is permanently closed. We've had no communication from the owner and we haven't seen the payment since January, so it's not a big surprise. The
Margaret,
outstanding balance is
excuse me, what page are you on?
14.
Thank you.
my page says 96. Yeah, the outstanding principal balance is just over 31,000. Loan client B, I'm happy to report, is in the process of bringing their account current. We can see payments pending in the portal of over $3,000. Loan client C, as I reported, last week, they have filed for chapter 11. There is a meeting of the creditors on November 10th. Andy will be attending that meeting along with the staff. And their outstanding balance is 34,000. Loan client D, I'm gonna come back to that when we talk about our loans. We've been in touch with the client. We need to rewrite that loan because, next month it will be in default. That is an SBA loan and we need to transfer it to the CEDC loan portfolio. And the client has agreed to come in and sign the required documents.
Questions on the portfolio? Motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Chairman, I don't see it here, but we do have a loan for approval. Yeah.
Yep. So this is, good morning, everyone. This is Industrial Compute LLC here at Hudson. They're a software producer. Their request of us is $50,000 that will split between our two loan funds at 7.75% across 72 months. Interest or monthly payment being just over $870. Working capital loan with our collateral being a lien on the business assets and the personal guarantee of the principal. It's Industrial Compute LLC. Thank you.
The loan committee has recommended approval. Any questions anyone has about this loan request? If not, is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. The loan is granted.
Excuse me, Jim. I also need a approval from the board to rewrite that loan that I mentioned earlier, which is loan client D on the portfolio. The outstanding balance is $15,000. We anticipate the client coming in with a payment. So we'd be rewriting approximately $15,000, moving it from the SBA fund to the CEDC loan fund, keeping the interest rate at 3.75. The payments would be $275 a month over 5 years.
Except different chart, I have D as having a principal balance of 34.
Our position doesn't look the same.
It's just a different page.
What is the outstanding amount?
15,700.
Oh, it's
It's
client
not-
E, it's the other one.
Okay,
Make a motion.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is carried.
Thank you.
Okay,
Chris, Could you just give a brief overview of the project that we've been looking at with Rupco and Chatham and Ghent? I do have a request as a participant in this potential partnership that Chris will outline. I would like to request authority to spend $10,000 on preliminary site plan with Crawford Associates.
Yeah, wasn't ready for that one, but I think we talked about this one enough that I can kind of get the general shape of it. So this would be, do you want the specific parcel?
Yeah.
So on Route 66, if you go behind Price Chopper, there's a senior housing center there that Galvin actually manages called High Point. Behind that, to the side, between that and the, I think it's NYSEG, has some property there. There's a pretty large parcel that goes up into a hill. There's a water tower up there. There's a potential for a project for Rupco to site a variety of housing. So this is affordable workforce housing, supportive housing, assisted housing. It's just a bunch of different housing typologies. Be right by a Price Chopper, so one of the few places in the county where you can build that much housing and not be in a food desert. This land is being donated to Rupco, so it's one of the few
Well,
cases
it
where
may be at a reduced lease price.
some of the land is being donated, or some of the value of the land is being
Yeah.
donated.
It's not a complete, it's Francis Greenberger's land. And he wants a long-term lease at a discounted price.
So where we are with the project now, or the stage that we're in, is it really needs some sort of preliminary site plan, so Rocco can have some idea of what can go where. And generally what the cost will be to extend some of the sewer and water services and to electrify it as well,
So we've been working on this now for 4 months,
at least.
and we've been working with Cheryl Roberts, who's representing Francis Greenberger. We've been working with Kevin O'Connor at Rupco, and it would be, as Chris points out, a potential of 3 75-unit housing projects serving 3 different populations. We have budgeted this year $20,000 for programmatic activities related to housing. And I would like authority to provide Rupco with $10,000, because the plan would be, we would each put in $10,000 as partners and moving the project forward to get some preliminary site work done. And to really have a seat at the table at an equal level. It is budgeted for, it would be the largest number of units that the county has been looking at since we got involved with the affordable housing program. And I know it's kind of on short notice, but this started to move fast, and I think it would give us, further credibility in our role as the county's housing coordinator. And, there is a housing forum that we're sponsoring today for the county at 4 o'clock, but Chris will tell you about that. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but
What town or
What's
village?
the address or the
What's
tax
it?
ID?
we can get you that, but it's partly in Ghent, partly in Chatham. And it's partly in the village of Chatham, so it has access to water and sewer. It's between the county fair,
Right next to Campbell again.
Camp Hill, Ghent, the county fair. It's basically back behind the old Fairpoint Communications building that Andrew McDonald has built out.
I think it's worth mentioning too, that both of those supervisors and the village mayor they walked the property a couple of times with us, so they're all very well aware of it and they all support it.
So I think that, it further solidifies our role. It is, we did anticipate this. You'll recall last year, we used $2,500 to work with the Taconic School District to work on a site plan. Previously, we did split the cost of a site plan with Richard Koski on the old cement land, turn it into industrial park. So it's consistent with what we've done in the past. It's a little larger amount. Usually we split it, but again, Chris has done a phenomenal job getting Rupco interested in the county, going back to the grant for the auxiliary dwelling units, accessory dwelling units, and you know, the county leadership is very pleased with the fact that Rupco is now taking an interest because they have the capacity to carry out these programs.
Excuse, how many units did you say?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Well, it's gonna, they're looking at workforce, they're looking at senior, they're looking, I guess, market share in my mind, they won't be more than 75 units of pod. And they won't all be built at the same time. But, you know, fact that, the two supervisors, again, and, Chatham and the Chatham mayor have been at all the meetings with us. And that there's water, sewer, gas, electric and broadband at the same location, and there are only 6 places in the county that have that. It's too good an opportunity not to fully explore it, and especially when there's an opportunity to bring the land into the entities, under a master lease at a discounted, rental price, lease rate.
It's similar to a project they're working on Hilly Boulevard.
No, the one in Haley Boulevard is, on hold because of, wetland issues. Not, no, not the you're thinking of the wellness hub or the
No,
the IDA project?
The IDA project.
No, that's gonna be, my guess will be that's going to be, instead of 150 units in one building, it's gonna be 150 buildings in 8 buildings. And it's going to be 110% of median income. You know, this would be, you know, in order to get these built, they're gonna need higher levels of state subsidies, which would result in them being, subsidized rental units.
Is there any commercial or retail going in there as well, or is it strictly housing?
Into the gas location.
Yeah.
I think that they mentioned some small things like coffee shops, things like that. Yeah.
Offices.
I imagine what the mix might look like. Won't be this scale, but if you're familiar with, the developments in Malta by the Chip Fab plant, where they've got that first floor of retail, might look something similar to that.
Yeah, I was thinking of those 20-minute communities, so.
Yeah.
Partly, it's, we did this with the Hudson DRI. You know, we put up $10,000 to, do the study, so that we had a seat at the table. And, you know, not that, any of those partners would exclude us, but, you have a much stronger, if you have some skin in the game.
How soon would the work start?
Well, and rather than have us involved with contracting, the theory was we would transfer the money to Rupco and be approved at the committee level of the project. But I think they're ready to get started based on our, you know, they can use the money they're putting in first. So, you know, but I think we have to move fast because of the pressures on the state money. It's so competitive to get those funds.
Other questions or comments?
So they anticipate any zoning hardships?
Chris, the zoning right now is,
Zoning right now, some of it's village hamlet, but because it's a little weird, it cuts across 3 different jurisdictions, so.
part of this
Probably
would be
gonna-
to figure all that out by getting the
Right.
site plan.
Yeah, and I think it's almost going to necessitate some sort of floating district or overlay district. Or plan development district, one of those.
Okay, is there a motion?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Right.
Anyone opposed?
I appreciate it, having slipped my mind until yesterday, I wouldn't wanna have to tell them. Oh, you have to wait till December. I also included in your packet a draft of a proposal that we have made to the Hudson Development Corporation. We discussed this at the executive committee. Obviously, if they accepted it, we would bring it to the board for full approval. The initial meeting that Martha and I had, there was discussion as to whether we would be willing to manage a loan fund on their behalf with a portion of the $3 million they received from the sale of the CAS project. Steve did a report that showed, more than 35% of our loans are in the city of Hudson. And obviously, if we were using their money, they would want to, earn the interest, on the loans. And at best, they would pay us an administrative fee to do the work. Steve put together a very good report that showed, you know, that we lose about $100,000 a year doing that. So Martha and I told them that that was really not an option. They understand that it's a involved process to run your own loan fund, so I don't think they are necessarily going to go ahead and do that. But we have talked over time about creating 250,000 for energy, 250,000 for contractors, $250,000 available for special loans for electricians. And the theory was give $25,000, you do 4 or 5 of them, you don't get enough people to show up next quarter, you roll it into the flavor of the month and announce another loan program just for visibility. So what Martha and I did come up with was a pilot program that we would use $250,000 of our money. We would have them co-market it with us. And in return, we would give them 15% of the interest over time as it was earned as a marketing fee. We felt it was important not to just say no and to come up with a plan that demonstrated we were willing to be partners, but we couldn't let them feed into our business model. Again, it was for discussion only. I know we did get a response yesterday that they had received it. I sent it a week or so ago, and I think they have a board meeting this week. But, you know, I did feel it was very important to be very explicit about the fact that we couldn't be getting the 15% for managing their money while we were sitting on money that we would otherwise loan ourselves.
What do you think?
Any comments? Or
So the 250,
we do 10 loans, see how it works and do more if they like it.
it's ours, but, they're,
We get a marketing fee.
they got quite a bit of money too.
Right, but they wanted us to put their money on the street and pay us 15%. And we would lose $100,000 a year and not.
Right, but why are we paying them 15% if it's our money?
Was to help us expand our base.
But they got $3 million sitting in the bank.
Well, perhaps at some point we could have an executive session on this, but I just wanted you to be aware of it because their board's going to see it. And it might not work. But stay tuned. How about that?
Other questions, comments on this? So we won't take any action on this?
No, this is informational because it's very preliminary. I didn't want to be in a situation where they got their back up and went out and started a competition with us. But we can certainly discuss it further. Okay. I have one last thing, but you want to have anything you want to have, Mr. Chairman, before?
I think procedurally, we maybe just need to do the minutes. We didn't have a quorum.
Yes. Minutes of the September 30th meeting. Anyone have any changes, any additions, any revisions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Chris, did you have something?
Couple extra housing things. Great.
Okay.
So tonight we've got the third, it's not annual or semi-annual, it's somewhat annual, we skipped last year. So tonight is the third virtual housing forum. We got about 130 attendees registered to attend the event tonight. Adam Bosch from Pattern for Progress, Kevin O'Connor from Rupco, and then Madeline Fletcher, who runs the small and mid-sized development programs at Homes and Community Renewal, all in attendance tonight. Justin and I were down at the Pattern for Progress Annual Housing Conference a couple of weeks ago. One of the things that Adam Bosch called out was Columbia County participation in the Pro Housing Communities Program, which I know you've heard about a lot of times. We have now had every single community pass the resolution that needs to pass it, so everyone is enrolled. They're all going through the certification process. I imagine by this time next month, every community will be certified. Why that matters for the immediate future, there's a brand new technical assistance program that communities can apply for up to $250,000 in grant funds for a variety of different uses. And communities can combine applications, so you can have the same, basically the same program, and 5 or 6 or 7, or however many communities can apply together for it. And the county can apply as well. And one of the things that we set up, we offer to all of the communities, anyone that wanted to apply, CEDC is happy to help administer any program that they apply for and win for, a small administrative fee.
Of $30,000.
And I should say the third quarter report on housing from NISAR just came out yesterday. And for the first time for an entire quarter, Columbia County surpassed a $500,000 median home sale price. It's the first time in our history. So right now, the average home in Columbia County costs more than the average home in Orange and Dutchess. Thank you.
Well, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. As you know, we've been discussing, my future with CEDC, and collectively with the board and Jim and staff. I've decided that, I would like to step down on June 30th. You've already formed a search committee with that, date in mind. I truly appreciate, the 10.5 years that I've been here. It's been a great, opportunity for me. I've been able to, integrate and assimilate into a community that I knew but didn't have strong relationships in. And I do think it's time. I'll be 71 tomorrow. And, I think my theory on this is I don't want to be working 60+ hours a week going forward. And if I waited until 73 or 4, no one would hire me as a consultant because they figure I was out of the arena. So I think that in your packet is a email that I'm going to send out later today. And then either later this afternoon or first thing in the morning, a press release. I did want to give some of our stakeholders a heads up of sorts. And I made 4 calls yesterday. And they included a call to Dave Finger and Tony Jones, our past chair, and Matt Morrell. And and Mike Gevely at Empire State Development. But Dave was very gracious and said that he would come for my announcement, and I appreciate that. I did have a good conversation with Tony as well. And it's been a great run, and I think I sent a similar email to the staff yesterday, and I think they feel that the verbiage in the announcement is positive and is forward-looking. And I think it also gives all of us a chance to reflect back on what we've all accomplished working together. Not only the staff and I, but the board and I, and the community on the whole. So, no one knows exactly what the future will be, but I think it's the right decision. And again, appreciate your support.
Thank you, Mike. All right, anybody want to make a motion and not let it go?
Well, Matt Morrell wanted to come to the meeting too.
I've had the pleasure of working with Mike since he got here. I was on the board. 14, was it?
15 when you hired.
Hired, and I've seen the way he's taken this place from the business that it was to where it is today. It's nothing short of incredible. Well, you'll be dearly missed.
Well, thank you.
Mike has given us the luxury of 8 months' notice to find a suitable successor. Not that we'll ever replace him, but we'll find a successor.
Well, when you get your new executive and he gives a report or she gives a report, you'll say, boy, I wish Mike could know how to do that. We all have different skills and, things that I may be good at and or need assistance in, they may be excel at. So I think you'll be fine.
So as Mike alluded to, the press release will go out
Probably in the morning.
tomorrow morning. And in addition to that, we'll be placing ads posting the position in local and regional newspapers. We have a list if
Obviously the newspapers, but also their industry association newsletters that include job postings, the New York Economic Development Council, the International Economic Development Council, and both the Labor Department, the college.
Yeah.
There's we're going to go on Indeed, and obviously the press release will ultimately end up in LinkedIn and Facebook. So, I mean, it'll get pretty wide coverage. I know of 3 people interested already. I had a text from someone on Friday asking, has the job been posted yet? And I told them rumors of my imminent demise are greatly exaggerated, but wait till Friday. But the thing is, your timetable, if you succeed quickly, I think I just don't want to be Calderon. And if anyone knows my friend Phil Calderon at the Albany Airport, but the key to this is confidentiality, because one of the candidates that contacted me indicated that just don't tell my boss that I'm interested. And with this long of a runway, people are going to be concerned about the internal process.
Yeah.
And the way it's set up is resumes will come to Jim and Martha. I won't see them unless they're shared with me by the search committee. So, and that way, I have plausible deniability as to what the process is. So I think, there are a lot of good people out there, a lot of, and I think you'll get an assortment of people. You'll get people who have had other careers that, they bring leadership qualities. There'll be people who are moving up through the ranks of economic development, inside and out of the region. The Center for Economic Growth just hired someone to be the economic development director. And she came from the Ithaca area. So, you may get people outside the region. But I know that with the search committee and the board's involvement, you'll have a good pool and you'll make a good choice.
So, Mike, on behalf of the entire board, we want to extend our deepest thanks and let you know how enjoyable it is to work with you, how proud we are of you, and there's a lot of work to do between now and the time you wrap up. But for now, we just want to extend our appreciation for all you do.
Well,
And
thank you.
all you have done.
And I want to extend that to the staff. We do work collectively. We do try to keep each other updated on what we're doing, so we're not in vacuums or silos. And as I said, you'll initiate a search. I'll work closely with you to ensure a smooth transition. And in the meantime, I look forward to continuing to advance our mission and strategic pillars. So, you're gonna pay me for 8 more months. I might as well keep working.
Just like to say, on the IDA end, I got involved with the IDA and then they elected me chairman, volunteer. But Mike is great. I mean, working on these pilot programs, I mean, I've done it before with the city, but Mike's really knows the ins and outs. You don't realize how many people, they're elected officials, and they don't want nothing to do with a pilot program. You gotta sit down, explain it to them, Mike, but I mean, Mike is really great for that, and it's been enjoyable.
Well, thank you.
Other comments?
You're 1 minute over, Mr. Chairman. I arranged that over.
Upcoming CEDC meetings, governance and nominating November 11th, loan committee November 17th, board meeting in November is the 25th. Again, a reminder of the housing forum today at 4 p.m. Anyone have anything else you want to bring to the meeting?
Would it be helpful? Well, thank you.
Given that the November meeting's the week of Thanksgiving, would it be helpful for you to know ahead of time whether you're gonna have a quorum or not, or is it?
It's a good.
We expect to have 4 loans to present.
I know I'll be out of town.
We can check that, and get back, we'll check with her.
We'll,
Just in case you wanted to shift the date or something.
we'll hold the board on your availability for that meeting. And, if we have to adjust, we'll adjust. Okay, so motion to adjourn,
The move.
all in favor?
Thank you. Are we off? Just one quick second.